Hey guys, I'm Odyssey, and I'm standing in front of what would be a very normal wall in anyone's base on any server, or at least that's what one would think. But if it's a little bit more than that, if I were to come to this chest right here and put in 8 stacks of items, and then come to this furnace and put in a half stack, come to this brewing stand and put in 1 bottle of water, and finally put 2 bottles of water in this cauldron, we would then have access to all my goodies. So what we got here is a pretty neat idea for a combination lock. I mean, what's more secure than a combination lock with a whole bunch of combinations? It's a combination lock that people don't even know is there. And if we take a look at the redstone here, it's actually pretty simple. I would definitely call this survival buildable. I'm sure a lot of you were imagining a lot more redstone than that. But if we take a look at how this works here, I'm going to get rid of what I would call the camouflage, so to say. And this is a 4 input combination lock, and these are my inputs right here. And the way this combination lock works is it uses signal strength. And what's so cool about that is that there's so many things in the game that produce signal strength, so that you can use any one of those as your input. You know, chests, furnaces, brewing stands, cauldrons, jukeboxes, whatever. And the way it works is that each of these 4 inputs has to produce a very specific signal strength. It can't be one too less or one too much. For example, if I took a stack out of this chest, you see our unlock goes away. If we put it back, unlocked again. If I put more water in this cauldron, signal strength is too strong, it doesn't work. So each of the inputs has to have a specific signal strength. But what's neat about the way I've designed this one is that you don't have to hard code it into the redstone. You can actually program what the combination is. And the way I've done that is I've done it using these droppers here. So each of these 4 droppers, the 2 on the left and the 2 on the right, correspond to one of the 4 inputs. This top right dropper goes to the top right input with the brewing stand, bottom right goes to the cauldron, and same for the other 2. And the way it works is based on the number of items in these droppers determines how strong of a signal strength you need from your input. So for example, this brewing stand right here. If I was to take this brewing stand and I want 1 bottle of water to be the key, so to speak, for this input, and I know that 1 bottle of water on a brewing stand produces a signal strength of 4. So I go to its dropper and I put in enough items to produce a signal strength of 3, which is 1 less than the input I want. And that's this. You do the same thing for all 4 inputs. You just make the dropper that corresponds to it produce a signal strength 1 less than what you want. So for this cauldron, I want the correct input to be a signal strength of 2. So this dropper produces a signal strength of 1. On this furnace, I want the correct input to be a signal strength of 3. So this dropper produces a signal strength of 2, etc. It's a little bit confusing at first, but as long as you remember that you want the droppers to produce a signal strength 1 less than the correct input, it should be fairly easy to get the hang of. And what's so cool about that is that it makes it very easy to change the combination without having to change the redstone. Let's say, for example, I want the correct input for this cauldron to be a full cauldron instead. So what I do is I just come to this dropper right here and I increase the signal strength by 1. And so now the correct input is a full cauldron instead of a cauldron with 2 bottles of water, which is really cool. So it makes it really easy. And by the way, because it works with anything that produces signal strength, it's also very easy to change the look of the combination lock. Let's say I don't want to use a cauldron here anymore. Instead, I want a jukebox. Well, I don't have to change anything. It's just now, instead of the correct input being a full cauldron, the correct input is now the 3rd record. So very cool. You can do lots of tricky little things with this and have a lot of fun with it. I can see people having a lot of fun on like PvP servers and stuff. You know, it's going to be really, really secure. I don't see anyone walking by this and thinking, oh, a chest, a furnace, a brewing stand, and a jukebox, that must be a combination lock. No, I don't think that's going to happen, especially if you have it well camouflaged like I had earlier before I destroyed all my camouflage. It just, it doesn't stand out. And that's really neat. And I love how little redstone it requires. Like I said, that's definitely survival buildable. So I think people will have a lot of fun with it. And anyways, I think I've talked long enough. So let's just go ahead and get to building. Alright guys, so the first thing you're going to do is go find some wall in your base or your house or whatever where you want to build this. I'm going to build it right here, and you're going to go up to the wall and knock out 2 bottom blocks like this, and then put down 2 comparators, and you're going to put those comparators into 2 more blocks, and then we're going to lay down 4 comparators like this, and we're going to want to make sure that all 4 of those comparators are on subtraction mode. Then we're going to get some more blocks and put them down here, here, and there. Get 2 more comparators and put them down right here, and finally 2 more blocks here and here. And then we're going to get 4 torches and put 1 there, 2 here, and 1 right there. And then we're going to grab 8 redstone dust and put it down like this. And now we'll do the droppers. So I'm going to put a block right here and another one here, and we're going to grab 4 comparators and put 2 like this and the other 2 like this. And now we're going to grab 4 droppers, and it doesn't matter what direction the droppers are facing, if they're facing up or out, whatever, they just have to be connected to these comparators. And now we'll do the output. So we're going to get 2 repeaters, put that into 2 blocks with redstone dust on top, and finally the output torch, and we're done. That shouldn't have, I don't think that's too difficult. Like I said, I think it's definitely survival buildable. Hopefully you were able to do it. I should also mention that since there are no items in these droppers, we haven't programmed the combination lock yet. The default combination is 1111. So if I put down 4 droppers here and put an item into each of them, you will see that the output torch comes on, and if I take one out, it will go back off. So yeah, the default combination is 1111. Yeah, I think that's all there is to it. The last thing I'll mention is that I'll say don't use too many chests as your inputs, because they're definitely the most inconvenient of all the inputs. For example, in both these droppers right here, I have 1 stack. However, the chest required 8 stacks of items, whereas the furnace only required a half stack. So if you had like a whole bunch of chests here, you can see how that could get really inconvenient. Yeah, limit the number of chests you use. But anyways, should be fun. You guys should have a whole lot of fun with it and do some tricky things. And thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you next time.